Hey, what's going on guys? This is Mr. Deepred, and today we are going to be talking about a video on the guide for people who want to choose between Android and iOS. So with the help of this video, I hope you guys will be able to choose between what you're likely going to be use the phone for. So it could be either Android or iOS. And this video, I personally think that it will also help for the fanboys out there, the Apple fanboys and Android fanboys out there, to choose and to actually understand that the Apple devices and the Android devices both are equally best. They have their own advantages and disadvantages, so I think this, as far as my personal opinion, both are best in their own ways. So you cannot actually differentiate. You can differentiate for their own best ways. So I guess this video will help for all the kinds of people out there who are looking for it as a guide and also as an explanation for their fanboyness. Okay, so whatever you call that. So let's go ahead, guys. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is we'll be talking about the efficiency between both the operating systems. Now when it comes to efficiency, let's categorize into three. First we have CPU, the RAM and the battery. When you see an iPhone, and I have an iPhone 5s right here and I've been using and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't have any issues. And the CPU, when it comes to CPU, you guys all know that they still run on dual core. I mean, that's just 2 cores and you get to see octa cores, quad cores everywhere in Androids, and they have dual core with barely not even close to 2 gigahertz, and guess what, it's pretty cool and I'm going really awesome, you know. I mean, I'm totally happy with it. So that's the CPU efficiency. They don't need multiple cores. I mean, they don't need a lot of cores to manage like very smooth very smooth usage feel. So I guess I would say CPU efficiency, that's a win for iOS. And when it comes to Android, I guess it's a heavy operating system, so it needs that many cores and all that shit, but I guess it can improve and, you know, reduce the usage of number of cores and all the gigahertz and shit, because that actually attracts too many customers out there to think, you know, it's way better than Apple. But when they use it for real, they get to see the difference. I mean, you could have it as smooth as Android, but you cannot absolutely compare it because the hardware used in iOS is totally different. So that's the CPU. And when it comes to RAM, these days everywhere 4 gigs, you know, 4 gigs, 6 gigs, it became so common in Androids. You cannot even maybe buy a phone with 2 gigs or 1 gig RAM for an Android. That's, you know, lot of difference, because since last year until iPhone 6, they used 1 gig RAM, which is, you know, a lot of, it feels like they are in ancient times. It doesn't even feel like they improved anything. But hey, they don't need that much RAM because their RAM management is crazy, because they have 1 GB RAM and you open like a whole bunch of apps just like how you do in your Android, and it works perfectly smooth. You don't really need all those gigs of RAM, you know. So that's the efficiency that they maintain. They don't really upgrade this numbers in their specs. They upgrade more like the efficiency in their specs. So that's what all matters to them. And now when it comes to battery, in this also I'm saying you again and again, numbers doesn't matter when it comes to comparing iOS with anything. See, you might have heard iPhones having very less milliampere per hour, that mAh thing. You guys pretty much know about all this shit. So you guys know it's very low out there for iPhones. So when you compare that with Androids, they always go about 3000 and they go all crazy, you know. It's like they need that. Without that, they can't last too long. But for iPhone, man, this thing is, I guess, having less than 2000 mAh battery. And guess what? It's performing pretty good. I mean, what can you expect better than this for an less than 2000 mAh battery? So I guess I would give a win for that also. So I'm not being an Apple fanboy right now. It's just that the points are coming in the favor of iOS. That's iOS. It is really efficient. So efficiency goes for iOS, absolutely. And the next point that we are going to talk about is customization. Man, this is the part where Android really rules out, you know. The customization features you have on Android, man, you cannot even get close to that on iOS. Let's talk about customization in this point, like rooting. You guys all know rooting in Androids. You get to root, then you have the root permissions, you get to download cool apps, you get to do all the crazy shit, but it's not official, but you still get to do it. So that's rooting. But there's similar thing in iOS called jailbreak, and probably you all know that also. So when you do jailbreak, it's basically some kind of rooting for iOS, and I guess you get to have a lot of customization when you jailbreak your phone, but that doesn't really improve the customization levels to Android, to the Android level, because man, you can install the whole OS different. You can install a custom ROM. That's crazy. I mean, you cannot even do something close to that in iOS. If you try to do that, you will mess up your phone. That's nothing else you can do. So that iOS cannot beat the customization level of an Android. The customization goes even for Android. And the next point that we are going to talk about is user friendliness. Apple has always considered user friendliness as one of their top priorities for designing their OS. Since the time I used iPhone 4 and iPhone 5s. These two are the devices that I use from Apple, and man, it was easy. Like, I don't even really need to look after what's the stuff in there. It's pretty easy. So that's the win, and it goes for iOS, I guess. Android is easy too. I'm not saying it's hardcore or something. You need to go for the tutorial, you need to learn shit, but hey, it's comparatively better. I mean, when there are newbies or old people trying to use, you know them, right? So I guess it's not so bad, and it's pretty easy. So that's for the user friendliness. And the next part we are going to discuss is performance. Man, this thing mostly relates to the efficiency part. It's really efficient. It can perform as good as an Android with very less specs on it. So I guess this isn't really a win for any of them, but because Android, when it comes to Android, I don't think it really is a bad deal to have 4 cores and all, because they need it. Without that, it's very hard for them to get to a level of iOS. So, and I have seen a video before, and it was a comparison between S6 and iPhone 6, and guess what? S6 managed to beat iPhone 6 over that, but iPhone 6 is 7 months older than S6, and iPhone 6, it was really close to almost a win over S6, but it didn't, but it was almost close. So a 7 months old phone almost winning close with dual cores and with 1 gig RAM, and it's way less specs than S6. So you can see the difference. I guess I cannot really compare them, because both are a win in this case, because they just need to manage the efficiency, that's all. And when it comes to RAM, man, that's where the part goes real bad, because RAM management in Androids, it's pretty bad, especially when it comes to Samsung devices. It's crazy. You just open a bunch of apps and you go back to the app which you opened previously, and it just needs to load back again. Even with all the gigs of RAM you have, it's pointless. That's because of the OS, man. It's really heavy, and I don't think you can do much about it. So that's my opinion, and I would give a win for both of them in this case, because of the OS type. It's heavy and it needs it. That's all. That's for the Android. So that's it regarding the performance, and now let's talk about the cost. Apple devices have always been real costly shit. It's just like that. They put up any new device, there you go, $800, $700. You just can't change it. It's like that. So I don't know if it's overpriced or if it's perfectly priced, or even if it's underpriced. I have no idea, because I'm not really into the marketing stuff. So I guess it's pretty much costlier than a lot of devices out there. I can accept that, but I guess it's worth it, because you get to have a classy feel. The design, they're not improving much, I guess, but yeah, the design still is amazing. The one which they released, iPhone 4, that was a breakthrough in their design. But since then, they have been trying to maintain one similar type of design in every release, and it's still pretty good. I can feel the classy I can have the classy feel whenever I hold my phone, and I'm happy to pay some big bucks for that. You guys might be thinking the cost is for the hardware, the cost is for the iPhone, and you're discussing about iOS versus Android. What are you doing? Well, that's, like, iOS is a part of iPhone. iOS is a part of the hardware. I mean, they cannot just sell you empty iPhones without any OS. So the cost actually includes into the iOS itself too. So you can't really avoid it, and you're actually paying for the iOS also. So that's basically, I don't know, I could give a win for Android, I guess, because you have a lot of choices when it comes to Androids. You could find a cheap shit phone like $200, maybe $100 even, but you cannot find something like that in Apple devices. Hell no, you cannot find at all, not even close. So that's a win for Android when it comes to number of choices in the cost basis. So that's a win for Android. And next point we're going to talk about is the security. Now, security, it's been awesome for Apple. Actually, I think I would straight away give a win to iOS, because the more customization features you give to your users, I guess you are losing a lot of security right there. Because man, if I could steal an Android phone, I could just format it. I could even install a custom ROM right away, throw the SIM card outside, and done. The phone is mine. I don't think it will be any more easier for the user to find their phone back. But that's what you're losing something, you're getting something. It's just like that. You're giving a lot of customization features. They could use the customization features to reduce the security, because I have personally experienced one time when I actually tried to hack through call over a wireless network. I mean, I have Wi-Fi at my house, and my uncle, my bro, they were just having a call on their phone, and they had iPhone and Android devices, both of them, and I tried to hack through their call, to record their call through my laptop, accessing over the same Wi-Fi network. And yeah, I had tried to record a call when they were talking through their Android, and yeah, I could actually record it, and I got the whole call from both the sides, even from the receiver, and I could actually listen to the whole stuff they talked through. And actually, when I tried the same thing with iOS, you guys won't believe this, but I couldn't hear shit. It was all blank, and yeah, I was amazed that day, and that was just amazing. And the next point that we are going to discuss is about App Store or Play Store. You are paying a big amount of money for an Apple device for the device itself. And when you're paying that much amount, you expect to have a good number of apps, which are free in their store. But if you are a type of guy who is ready to pay one time big bucks and then later you want to depend on free stuff, I don't think this is a good choice for you. You need all the crazy apps and you need them free. No, this is not a choice at all for you, because I have gone through App Store. But wait, you have a choice. You can actually jailbreak the stuff, but if you're not into tech stuff more, then you need to avoid this choice, because there are a lot of paid apps, while there is literally, basically I can say 20% apps which are free. Because man, I have been through App Store. Everywhere I go, I get to see paid stuff, but you see the same thing in Play Store for the Androids. There is a lot of free stuff I can see. It's more like I'm seeing 20% of paid stuff. So that's for the Android. So I guess I could give a win for the Android. So basically, I guess the last point was my own choice. It depends upon the various devices you guys are using. Basically, if you have a flagship device, if you have a very good device, you won't have a bad experience even if you go through multiple updates. But personally, my experience was way better for iOS. Maybe because I didn't have a really good phone, but well, my experience was kind of bad for the Android device. So let's wrap it up, guys. I guess I could wrap it up as both are equal. Nothing is special about iOS comparing to Android. Nothing is special about Android comparing to iOS. It's just both are amazing in their own ways. It depends upon what kind of a user you are. If you want a user-friendly experience, if you want to pay some big bucks for the classiness, then I guess you should go for the Apple. While if you want to customize a lot of things, if you want to if you're a tech sort of guy and if you want to use a lot of things here and there, changing your stuff, and if you want a little bit easier experience in storage management, I guess you should go for Android. So that's basically I'm saying that both are equal. I cannot say nothing is better. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that video helped you guys to understand that you can differentiate in two different ways. That is if you want it for customization, you can go for the Android devices, and if you want to keep it simple, then that's it, you could go for the Apple devices. So that's it, guys. See you guys next time. Peace. You need a ringtone in iPhone? Man, that's a lot of shit you have to go through before you can have it.
Shit, man.
What?
Everywhere shit.
Yeah, shit is crazy, man. Shit is cool. Yeah, people like shit, man.
What, man?
Yeah. So.
Shit.
What I was talking about?
Ease of storage, man.
Yeah. Really good. I mean, now, security, it's been awesome for Apple. Okay. So if you have a flagship device, maybe you would be going all the wrong.